Hi, and welcome to Project Humanity. I will be your guide. My name is Professor Kenny. I teach at New York University and Rutgers University. I live here in New Providence, and my two older kids are graduates of New Providence High School. One goes to UNC Chapel Hill, the other goes to Rutgers. And I'm a big fan of the Pioneers, and I'm very excited about what you guys are up to this week, which is called Project Humanity. So I teach at NYU and Rutgers. And before that, I worked at Google. I also worked at CBS Paramount. And right now, I'm pursuing my doctorate. And my doctoral work focuses on AI in education. So I really understand the architecture of the digital world because I've been living in that world and building that world for over 20 years. And I can tell you, when you know it from the inside out, that people are vulnerable to it because it is incredibly powerful. So I'm not here to tell you to delete your apps. I have not successfully deleted my own apps. And in fact, I know that some of your parents may work at big tech companies. Some of you may aspire to work at tech companies. It's not about, this is bad and this is good. What we're really focusing on now is taking control of our own attention. So, social media platforms and AI platforms are designed to get you to use it so it can take your data and information. I say hoover it out of your brain, but it's collecting as much information as it possibly can. It's encouraging you to come back because it has been designed by the most brilliant people in the world who know how to hack your neurobiology, the way your brain works, and to give you a dopamine hit every time. So you pick up the phone and you are trained to keep coming back to it. And this is actually carrying over to AI. So the point of this is to be aware. We have to be aware of how these systems and platforms are designed to kind of take over our brains. And why do they do that? It's a way to make money. Not only do the tech platforms sell you ads, right? They're getting you to buy stuff, but they're also taking your data and information, which they sell to other people who want to do a variety of things. So the important thing to know is that if something is free, if an app is free, you're the product. You are the product. It is not actually free. It's using you as a mechanism to gather data from you and probably sell stuff to you. So algorithms are not evil. They're just very, very efficient, right? They are machines that know how to do things very, very efficiently. They're designed to remove what is called cognitive friction, the effort that it takes to think or choose or wait. And when you remove friction, you remove the very thing that builds your mental muscle, right? So think about when you go to the gym, if you had a robot do your routine for you at the gym, would you get stronger? No, you wouldn't, right? So that's why we don't want to just mindlessly use AI platforms to outsource our thinking and our work. There's research from the University of California, Irvine, that shows it takes an average of 23 minutes and 15 seconds to fully refocus after a single notification. That is profound. Think about how many notifications you get in a day. And when you are bombarded with endless amounts, it's really messing with your focus. If you check your phone every few minutes, you are effectively never really present in the moment. And this really takes a toll on cognitive work. The Adolescent Brain Cognitive Development Study found that teens using screens for more than 7 hours a day actually showed a thinning of the brain's cortex, literally atrophy of the brain. This is the area that's responsible for processing information. It isn't just about wasting time, your intellect. So there's something you can do, a quick and easy thing you can do. I put myself through this test. Before I go online to do research, even a simple Google search, there's this thing called the HALT framework. It's when you feel that urge to scroll, your brain is really trying to solve a biological problem with a digital pacifier. So ask yourself before you go do a search, HALT. HALT. H means, are you hungry? A means, are you angry or anxious? O means, are you lonely? And T means, are you tired? And when you feel a spike of, awkwardness in the hallway. That's really just kind of loneliness, and it's totally normal, and it is absolutely a part of life. When you're tired after a long day and you want to do just couch rotting because your brain wants like low energy escape, just keep in mind, ask yourself hungry, angry or anxious, lonely or tired. These are things that you can solve in other ways than just going to a screen. And you can decide if a TikTok video actually fixes your hunger, or maybe you should just have a sandwich. Seriously, just have a sandwich. Like, I know sometimes you forget to eat. We all forget to eat sometimes, but we get a choice. We can stop ourselves. And sometimes we need to set reminders to remind ourselves to eat. We can do that too. Boredom is really not something that we should try to escape at all costs. Having been a professor and a researcher and a journalist in my earlier life and career, I can tell you that boredom really can lead to some of the best stuff, because this is how your mind tinkers and it colors outside the lines, it looks for new connections. Some of the best art, some of the best creative ideas, technological ideas, they come when they're bored and they're not actively doing the thing that they think they should be doing. They are allowing their brain to just free range. And when you're bored, your brain activates this thing called the default mode network. And this is a neurological state where creativity happens and where yourself is constructed. And so if you outsource every second of silence to a screen, you are literally silencing your own original thoughts. I got to believe you have some gold in there. Everyone has some gold in there, because there's only one you, right? So when you're always on a screen, you're basically muzzling your own creativity. The most valuable skill in the AI era isn't knowing how to prompt a bot, because if you can prompt a bot, someone else can prompt a bot, right? And it can be copied immediately. This is what's happening in the world of AI right now. Everything we do in the US, China does it the next day and does it for free. Right. So it's not about doing something mechanical. It's about self-mastery, the ability to sustain deep attention when everyone else is getting distracted and, looking at something on Instagram or some latest crazy event in world news. If you can stay, in your own state of reference and your own calm, you're going to be able to achieve things that others can't, because people are increasingly losing that ability. It's about being proactive instead of reactive. So instead of waiting for provocations or waiting for prompts or waiting for someone else to tell you what to do, it's taking the initiative and thinking about what you want to do and then making it happen. So today we're starting this project. It's called Project Humanity. You're going to do some activities, thinking about things you actually enjoy doing in the world that don't involve necessarily screens. And I just want to really let you know, and I really mean this, there are no right or wrong answers. You don't need to overthink this. It's not a test for a grade. And the real goal of this is to help you be more mindful about how you spend your attention. It's the most valuable thing you have, is your own attention and your ability to decide and make choices. We want you to make decisions consciously that you're aware of, instead of letting a line of code that was written by engineers in Silicon Valley to decide what you care about. You know what? You know what you care about, and you get to change. And the algorithm doesn't know how you're changing, right? So this is why it's so important to practice and hone the skill of self mastery. And I just want to close by saying, walk more. Walking is just a great way to work things out. Movement can solve so much when we have problems and questions. Sitting in silence, which is really, talk about a renegade move. Sitting in silence these days, that is very, very, very rebellious. It's not easy. And if you're able to do that, the world will open to you. The goal is to master the machine. Don't let the machine master you. Welcome to Project Humanity, and let's get started. Namaste.